All right, let's get this started. Y'all see what we got going on. Super Mario Odyssey. Figured I'd try something new today because I was playing Metroid Prime Remastered, and one thing led to another, and I was just like, yeah, no, I can't do this type of shit today. I mean, I was having fun at first, but eventually it got to a point where um it was just some very obviously like artificial difficulty type stuff. Like the shit that was, few and far between for older games, but like, you know, the more modern your gaming becomes, the more stressful and, you know, irritating the gameplay experience can be because of like filler and shit like that. And I personally just really didn't feel like uh dealing with like you know, there's no explanation for this, but this is what's happening. All right, so let's turn this down so y'all can hear the ambient effects of the game. Okay, I'm looking around. Oh no. Please don't tell me it's one of those tutorials. Where they force you to do something like, bruh, why was it necessary for me to do that? You said move the fucking stick to look around. I looked around, and then you're just like, no, you gotta look around in this specific way, but we're not gonna tell you which way. We're just gonna, man, I hate that goofy shit. I'm not gonna lie. If if they make me chase him, I might end the stream right now. I know I've only been streaming for 6 minutes, but if I have to keep running after him, I might just end the stream. Because my thing is this: you grab the pieces of his hat and you follow him down here, but then the moment he gets up, you freak out, run away, and now you're at the top of this hill. I'm telling you right now, if I have to chase him from that spot to somewhere else, I will literally stop streaming right now and switch to a completely different game. And I'm really trying to be patient, but I hate, like, from the depths of my soul, from the depths of my soul, I hate tutorials, right? I already hate tutorials because it's like most of the time your game is not that complicated. It don't take that much energy for me to figure out what to do, context clues, that type of shit. It's not going to be a problem. But a tutorial where you force me to repeatedly expose myself to like some really unnecessarily slow, you feel what I'm saying? Like some unnecessarily slow, just filler type, like, you know, in Mario games be doing that sometimes. Especially after like Mario World and Super Mario Sunshine. It was just like after the GameCube era, it just got exponentially worse. Where it's just a bunch of cutscenes, a bunch of dialogue, and all of this extra so-called story shit. And it's like, I can't do it this time. I really hope you don't run away again. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? I knew immediately when he ran the first time that instead of just having a fun and engaging first level, they were going to create an unnecessary situation that didn't really make sense and force you to follow him over and over and over again. Like, what was the point? What was the point of you following Mario all the way down there for you to be scared the moment he gets up? There was literally no fucking point. So I'm about to just switch games. I'm not doing this today. I already you feel what I'm saying? I already went through it when I was playing Metroid Prime remastered earlier. I can't do it. Like I tried. Can't even get past the fucking opening of the game. God damn. Like it's just certain things that really rub me the wrong way. And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a game that has a terrible intro sequence. Because, all right, like, and I want y'all to think about something, for example. When you meet somebody for the first time, a lot of times that's going to be them on their best behavior. Because a lot of people care so deeply about first impressions that you feel what I'm saying. You can't really catch them off guard as easily as you could, meeting them, numerous times and then they get comfortable around you, right? Video games are kind of the same way. Where the first time you interact with a game and like within like the first 30 minutes to the first hour of you playing a game, that's the game on its best behavior. So if you're telling me that I sat through a little cutscene, okay, cutscene wasn't too bad. You had a character follow me for presumably miles because Mario got knocked off the ship. He got, you feel me, like Super Smash Bros. Knocked off the ship into the opposite direction. So he flew pretty far. You mean to tell me after flying for miles to catch up to me while holding my hat, the moment I get up and I'm like, oh shit, I'm not dead. You're like, and then you run away. And I understand it's a Mario game, but you mean to tell me there isn't a single person who considered like, hmm, maybe let's not make this specifically for 7-year-olds. And when you think about it, like the Switch controller don't really work that well for little kid hands anyway. Like most little kids don't have the dexterity to be using controllers like that. So it's like, who did you make this game for? Because if we're talking about the plot, you made this game for somebody who's not smart enough to really, you feel what I'm saying, question it. And just want better gameplay, like better gameplay loops. Like, I don't know. I could be reading too much into this, but I genuinely don't think I am because nah, you got me fucked up if you actually think I'm finna spend hours and hours and hours while you spoon feed me a Mario game through a bunch of filler bullshit. Like, it's a fucking Mario game, bro. You don't need to tell me to go to the place and jump the things. The whole point of me playing this game in the first place was to go to the places and jump on the things. Whatever enemies, jump on them. Cool. But Nintendo always adds unnecessary, undesirable features to their shit. Like trying to play Skyward Sword with the Wii controller. Terrible. Absolutely fucking terrible. It was a terrible idea. I don't know why the fuck they did that shit, but it was a terrible idea. Which is why to this day Skyward Sword is one of the least popular titles. You literally had to port Skyward Sword to a different system and make it playable with a pro controller just to get, you feel me, just to get it to look like something or just to get it to do something. And then y'all do this shit over again with Super Mario Odyssey looking like straight fucking trash. And I'm not going for it. The homies is not in the Discord yet. Niggas is still at work. Uh I'm finna go see finna go see what these other games talking about. I might switch to Metroid Dread. Yeah, I think I might switch to Metroid Dread. I couldn't get past the intro sequence of Odyssey. That shit irritated me so bad. You follow me all the way down here with the pieces in my hat, but then second I get up, you're gonna run away. Like I heavily dislike the new style of Mario games. Stop trying to feed me some weird ass backwards ass plot hole bullshit. Just get me to the fucking Mario game, bruh. Like, I've been playing Mario games for a minute. Everybody's been playing Mario games for a minute. Stop spoon feeding me terrible fucking writing. Just give me the fucking Mario game. It don't gotta be that complicated. Peach is gonna get kidnapped, or some other fucking princess is gonna get kidnapped. We already know. Yeah, they've been making them so simple and easy. It's like, bruh, I appreciate Super Mario Brothers 3 being as difficult as it was when it came to like trying to navigate and like master the run and jump controls. It's like you had to time that shit perfectly and all of that. It's like I like that. But y'all just it's like they trying to make Super Mario into some Zelda type shit, where it's like, there's a whole world out there, and there's universes and this and that, but it's like it's so disconnected and inconsistent with different parts of the plot that it's like, in the end, I just end up getting irritated when I have to sit through any type of unnecessary role play type sequence, right? Like, my hat is obviously in pieces. Why am I chasing this random ghost? First of all, you're a ghost. How the fuck can I see you? Like, then I start thinking about other shit because now you're trying to feed me plot. You're trying to make me think and consider things, but I'm too smart for the shit that you're trying to feed me. So it just ends up being like this weird, like, either just don't really try with the plot, just like throw it in your face and move on. Like, hey, I'm this. We need to go here to rescue the princess. Okay, let's go. Because then the question becomes like this: if you're trying to make a game that's smart enough to make people think, then obviously the plot or whatever is making people think, it has to be a smart enough plot, a clever enough plot, a well written enough plot, and well written enough dialogue to make people engaged, right? To keep people engaged. Because if you're trying to feed me a plot to make me think, then the plot has to actually mean something once I start thinking about it. But if you don't want me to think, right? Because the game is for children, then you wouldn't try to spoon feed me a terribly written plot in the first place. And that's the main thing that I dislike about Mario games now. Because it's not just, oh, save the princess, save the world, whatever, whatever. Get the coins, get the one ups. You feel me? The cool little what is it? The cool little mushroom houses where you can get different items and shit. It's not that anymore. Now it's just them trying to spoon feed a plot. The plot is terribly fucking written, and it's just tiring and yeah, just so tiring and more frustrating than anything. Like under stimulating. That's the perfect word. It's understimulating. But yeah, my bottom line is, if you're gonna feed me a plot because you want me to think, that means obviously your game should be the plot of your game should be written in such a way that thinkers can actually appreciate it. Otherwise, what would be the point? All right, Metroid Dread got some decent fans. Shit, I might play Ocarina of Time. What the fuck? Because I got Ocarina of Time in HD. All right, so that's what I got going on over here. Hyrule Warriors. What's Hyrule Warriors looking like on Twitch right now? Yeah, Hyrule Warriors isn't looking the best. But that's a little bit disappointing. I also believe the same thing applies to Zelda games now. That's why I didn't like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom like that. because both both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom lacked what made Zelda games so engaging and um like I guess that everything about the games that made them so perfect. Because we was playing these games at a time where all we had was bullshit ass polygons, and we was into it. And it's even some days where I go back and play Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and all of that other shit because of not just the experiences I had, but also got something in my throat. It's like this little bit of phlegm, it's tiniest bit of phlegm. But it's not just the old experiences I had, like nostalgia. It's also the shit just being fun. Like the moment I forget enough shit about the game and I can go back and play it, it's fun all over again. But for Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, I just find myself getting irritated that I don't already have the shit that I want. Like I don't get excited about exploring in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Like when I first played Breath of the Wild, I used to get I used to get a little bit excited about exploring. But then the moment I found out what it would take to get the Master Sword, I immediately stopped enjoying myself. Because number one, that has never been a factor throughout all of the times that we was getting the Master Sword. That shit has never been a factor. And you mean to tell me all of a sudden I gotta have 13 hearts to get the Master Sword? That basically defeats the whole purpose of me getting the fucking Master Sword in the first place. Because I didn't play the vast majority of the game before I got the Master Sword. Like, you got to keep in mind, in Ocarina of Time, you literally get the Master Sword, then you start playing through the vast majority of the game. Even when it came to Majora's Mask, right? You get a lot of cool shit in Majora's Mask before you ever get to a point where you're just like, all right, well, I gotta play through a large portion of the game before I ever get access to any equipment. Breath of the Wild flipped that whole shit around and was like, oh no, you don't get nothing. You just out here, nah, survival, bitch. If I wanted survival, I would have played Minecraft. I would have played Pal World. So I could craft shit and oh, you're hungry and oh, you're cold and like, bruh, nobody asked for that. Who and if they did, who the fuck asked for that? Who are they? Point them in my direction. Because who the fuck thought it was a good idea to implement weapons that break? The literal fucking hero of time doesn't have good equipment. And when you compare the shit that when you compare the way Link be looking to the way everybody else be looking, it's like, bruh, you mean to tell me so this is why everybody lost the war. Not because, of the overwhelming numbers, but just because their equipment was all trash. You swing 6 fucking times and the shit breaks. Like, Nintendo, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what? Who the fuck was in the studio with that logic? Like, it's the fucking hero of time. You mean to tell me he doesn't have anything? Like you really expect me to believe that the hero of time doesn't have access to a single fucking artifact? And it's like, what? Like nobody thought about that plot hole wise. Like when you think about the weapon damage system in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, you really got to ask yourself, how the fuck does the equipment he have measure up to the equipment average soldiers have? And like, why is it that soldiers' weapons last longer than the literal hero of time's weapon? Like, is he not trained? Actually, right? And wasn't he supposed to be Zelda's bodyguard? Like, why is Link in all of his equipment that fucking weak when he was her bodyguard? And why does there not seem to be any significant increase in Link's body mass, height, or anything by the time you get like to the point where he's like actually strong? Like there's nothing except the hearts to indicate how quote unquote powerful Link actually becomes once you get the 13 hearts needed to pull the Master Sword. And then the question becomes like, okay, well, is he just exponentially weaker than the rest of them? Because think about it. Remember, Ocarina of Time Link, he did not train. He did not train. Think about that. Ocarina of Time Link had no formal swordsman training whatsoever. He literally grew up in a fucking forest with a bunch of fairy people that never aged past like 11 years old. Then the nigga just has to go in a scary ass fucking tree. Like, what do you mean? Like, who's who who was in the studio? Like, that's how I feel about that. But seriously though, like really on some real shit, Ocarina of Time Link didn't have any. He had literally no formal training as a swordsman. Yet somehow he beat the Gerudo King, Demon King Ganon. He beat him, which means his connection to the royal bloodline and all that. All right, cool. Like something must have given him the strength, and he was so strong even without formal training that he later came back in Twilight Princess after he died just to teach Twilight Princess Link his swordman skills that he just naturally picked up. But Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom Link, right? And remember this, Ocarina of Time Link, he was not her bodyguard. He was not Zelda's bodyguard. He just fucking showed up. He literally just fucking showed up, snuck past all of the guards, showed up in front of Zelda, and Zelda was like, "Oh yeah, you're that fairy boy I had dreams about." And then they just proceeded to go on adventures and do their own thing. No formal swordsman training whatsoever, but Link managed to stop the Gerudo King. Easy. Put him on his ass. Mind you, in the 7 years he was asleep in the sacred realm, right? He didn't get any training. They just kept him there in stasis until he got old enough. But in comparison, right? By comparison, the literal fucking bodyguard of Princess Zelda that's supposed to be protecting her as she's traveling across the fucking lands of Hyrule, he needs 13 hearts to pick up the Master Sword. Otherwise, the shit'll just fucking kill him. Literally. Like the wait, what? Yes. In Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Master Quest, right? The main character Link literally wakes up in the middle of a forest, right? Because he's been there his whole childhood. A magical fucking tree tells him, "Hey, listen, I know that you've noticed by now that unlike the rest of the fairy people, you don't actually have a fairy to accompany you on your journeys. That's because you're not one of the Kokiri people. You're not a fairy person. You're actually a Hyrulean. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So your mom died during the war. She died and turned into a tree. The tree that you currently live in, that's your mom. Oh yeah, little known fact. Adults that stay in the Lost Woods too long, they turn into trees. So if you're a child and you get stuck in the Lost Woods for too long, you eventually turn into a skull kid. But if you're an adult that stays in the woods too long, you turn into a literal fucking tree. So the tree that Link wakes up in, it's a heavily circulated theory that the tree he wakes up in is his literal fucking mother. So he just wakes up in the tree. Navi's like, "Hey, the Deku tree wants to talk to you. Come talk to the Deku tree." And the Deku tree's like, "Yo, my boy, so you got to go on this magical mystical journey of death defying dastardly diabolicalness. Um, but I need your help before you go. You know, I'm dying because this dude cursed me. I need you to go up in here, slay the monsters, protect me from the curse. He slays the monsters and he's like, haha, you did it, my boy. Ah, fantastic. I'm gonna die anyway, you know. There was nothing, literally nothing you could have ever done to save me. I just wanted to see if you would survive. But yeah, you know, you did it, so go on this journey. So you mean to tell me this little fucking kid Link, little boy Link, wakes up in the middle of the woods with no sword training whatsoever, goes on a journey, beats everybody, literally beats everybody he comes across, gets sent back in time, goes to look for Navi and Majora's Mask, gets lost, blah blah blah. He eventually dies, comes back in Twilight Princess to teach Twilight Princess Link his sword skills. And remember, Twilight Princess Link had already trained before. So then you gotta ask yourself, how the fuck is a literal retired soldier from Zelda's army teaching Link swordsman skills with the wooden sword, and then gives him the Ordon sword and all of that, right? Because he had training before. And Twilight Princess Link was a farmer, which is why he was so strong, despite being, you know, more on the smaller side. Ocarina of Time Link is so much better of a swordsman, right? So much better than Twilight Princess Link as a swordsman that he comes back to life temporarily as a shade just to teach Twilight Princess Link sword skills. But fucking Breath of the Wild Link, Tears of the Kingdom Link, who's literally her fucking bodyguard, immediately gets clapped. And don't get me started on how weak the fucking Master Sword is. Like, it would make sense if they had explained somewhere in the game why the Master Sword was so weak, but they don't. They just implement a fucking system of weapon durability, and then they're just like, you know, have fun. You gotta watch out because your weapon could bitch. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear it. Talking about some goddamn weapon durability. Durability this dick. Okay, I'm tired of this. Fucking doing unnecessary shit to games. Like, I need somebody to revamp Ocarina of Time and Master Quest and Majora's Mask and all of that, and just put them bitches together. Like when I got the Master Sword, I thought that that would be the only weapon they would make unbreakable, you know? Like, yeah, that's exactly what I thought. So when I got the Master Sword and that bitch like died in 6 swings, I was like, what? I was like, what? The fucking sword that destroys all evil. 6 swings? And remember, in Breath of the Wild, the Master Sword didn't break. Nothing happened to the Master Sword. Link just got fucked up because he got tired. Mind you, and think about this for a second. The only time we've ever seen somebody have to straight up charge the Master Sword in a 3D adventure, it was Wind Waker. And you watched me play that shit. Like, you've been watching me play Wind Waker. So like you saw how I got the Master Sword, but it didn't have a charge because the Master Sword had been keeping Ganon's powers locked away for so long. So it had to get recharged. You know, having to collect the pieces of the Triforce and all of that. And you're dead ass trying to tell me that after everything, the Master Sword just goes out 6 swings. All right, who got some decent Alice the Madness Returns? That's one of my favorite games. Not in terms of games that I played, but games that I watched. Super Mario World is doing numbers right now. Super Metroid is doing numbers right now. Carry the Glass is doing numbers right now. Super Mario 64, Donkey Kong 64, Super Mario Maker 2 is doing numbers right now. Super Mario Brothers 3 is doing numbers right now. She. I might just play one of the old Mario games to save myself the trauma. Yeah, we're totally like, yeah, the Master Sword ain't strong no more. Hell yeah. Like that's yeah. I'm glad somebody else understands my frustration. Because who the fuck was in the studio with that? Shit. I might have to play Super Mario Maker too. Damn. Out of all the games, it might have to be that. Cause at least in Super Mario Maker 2, uh you can choose user levels. Levels created by other players like yourself. Not to mention, I haven't played Super Mario World in forever. So, like, mhm. Yeah, that shit was terrible. And then, right, Breath of the Kingdom, and this is the worst part about Breath of the Kingdom's weapon durability slash uh Master Sword acquisition, right? In order to get the 13 hearts, you have to do dozens upon dozens of shrines. Like, remember that. I think it's more than 90 different shrines in Breath of the Wild. I think it's like 100 and something shrines. And if I'm not mistaken, you got to do like 30 or 40 of them bitches to get the little pearls, the goddess pearls or whatever, to work your way up to getting the hearts. So it's not just a case of, oh, I gotta defeat bosses and actual enemies that are fun. No, you just gotta do goofy ass, lame ass puzzles, some of which are way too fucking easy, and others just way too fucking convoluted. Mm, I like this. Super Mario Brothers 3 is looking like a vibe. I'm curious about Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong 64 is on here, but what about Donkey Kong Country? All right, Donkey Kong Country. Let's see what's happening. Damn, Donkey Kong Country is doing crazy fucking numbers right now. Monday at 11, Tuesday at what, 1 a.m., 2 a.m.? Okay, so I'm gonna have to switch my schedule around and start fucking with these types of games. So Mondays at 11, 11 a.m. Probably 2 hours. Donkey Kong. I'm gonna name the stream something corny. Hold up. I'm gonna call the stream "Going Bananas" with your baby father. I can do 11 a.m. For Tuesday, I don't know about this fucking 2 a.m. shit. I don't know about that, my boys. Uh, 4 p.m. I could see 4 p.m. on a Friday. Ash stream 4 p.m. on a Friday, every Friday, 4 p.m. for 2 hours. Son of a bitch. I typed the wrong shit. All right, cool. Setting up my different stream times. All right, so I'm gonna fuck with Donkey Kong Country, Super Nintendo. What else? Maybe Super Mario World. We finna see. Hmm. I never thought about Skyrim. It's actually a really good idea. Let me see. else. Now, I guess. Oh, Cyberpunk is another really good game. Guess it just depends on how much of that I've already completed. All right, that should work. The question is, should I play Switch games or should I play some? Because I really want to play Age of Calamity. I might just play that anyway, even if it's not pulling views yet, simply because it might be more fun. Oh shit. All right, so what about actually, you know what? I'm gonna do it like this. All right, so do y'all want to see me do y'all want to see me rage at Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom? Do y'all want to see me play Skyward Sword? Do y'all want to see me play one of the old Zeldas? Like, what do y'all actually want to watch me play? Because I could play one of the older Zeldas, right? Wind Waker, one of them. I could play one of the new Zeldas, right? And just rage at that for a while, talk shit about that game. But Yeah, Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity, you know, fast pace, high action. Metroid Dread, right? That's another option because I haven't played that at all. So, you know, we don't know how that is. It could be a great game. You never know. All right, I started a poll. I mean, we could really go either way with it. That's why I'm asking. I even I think I got a piece of hair somewhere it's not supposed to be, when really the piece of hair is supposed to be there. It's just sticking the wrong way. Like trying to get an eyelash out your eye and you trying to pull it out or like, you know, rub it out or like, you know, one way or the other. And yeah, it just be one of your eyelashes poked the wrong way. That shit, the ultimate betrayal. You would sit there for the longest time just trying to rub it to get it to face the other way. Forsaken. My own lashes have forsaken me. All right, all jokes aside, I think I want to play Age of Calamity for a little while. So I might fuck with that. Hyrule Warriors, Age of Calamity, maybe. Metroid Dread would be new. I could also play some 3DS games. I mean, we have options. I got Ocarina of Time 3D, Majora's Mask 3D, Hyrule Warriors Legends, Dragon Ball Fusions, Animal Crossing New Leaf, uh, Legend of Zelda Link Between Worlds, WarioWare Gold, Triforce Heroes. Although Triforce Heroes is just more fun with more people. Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot. I also have Super Mario Sunshine in 4K. Yeah, I forgot about that. 'Cause I got Twilight Princess, Wind Waker. Hmm. Wait, Spiral the Dragon? I forgot about that game. I forgot that game even existed. Hold up. Super Mario Galaxy wasn't bad. Could have been better though. It was a little bit too easy for my taste. It was just a lot of flashy stuff, but not a lot of the difficult gameplay that made Mario the most fun. Like they could have, made it a little more challenging instead of, just kind of having the 3D gimmick carry most of the shit. Bye bye, sweet Carol. And this fucking screen cap looks sinister as hell. Okay, what else? What else? Now, I wonder what would be better. Switch games. Mm, yeah, I mean, it seemed like Switch games is popular. I guess it just depends on the Nintendo game to be specific. It's a couple of Pokemon games doing numbers. Yeah, so there's definitely a few Pokemon games doing numbers, but it's mostly Metroid Prime. You know what? I might download. Let's see, is that on the Switch? No, it's not on the Switch. So I would have to play it on the GameCube. Might do Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. Matter of fact, I thought I don't I have that? Wait a minute. Let me go back. Let me check my shits. All right, I have Metroid Samus Returns on the 3DS. I actually do have some Pokemon games. The Pokemon games I have are both like the originals as well as some of the hacks, like Pokemon Infinite Fusion, where you can, I think you can fuse pretty much any Pokemon to create another Pokemon. I want to fuse a Haunter and a Pikachu. Call it a Haunchu. Yeah. Oh, so you finally making the sticky rice now. I'm not gonna lie. I really want Chinese food. I want some sticky rice and some sesame chicken. Made almost $100 my first 30 days on Twitch, by the way. Fantastic milestone. Very happy about that. You know what? I might also fuck with Luigi's Mansion. Y'all might have to see me with this Luigi's Mansion. Hmm. I might have to fuck with Kirby Air Ride. Come on. Soul Calibur 2. I forgot about that. Hmm. I think it's time I order some groceries. Gotta replenish. Tetris and Dr. Mario, NBA Jam. All right, let me see. Is this my 4K version? Yeah, this shit crispy as hell. Okay, so that's my 4K version. I was looking through my PC trying to remember exactly where all of my stuff was at. And I found my 4K version of what is it? My 4K version of Wind Waker. All right, so I'm gonna just all right, so I got my stream set up, my schedule set up. Hmm. I figured out what I think I'm gonna be doing a little bit later.
Discovery Houston, press to ATO. Liftoff of mission 41D, the first flight in the orbit of Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower. 3, 2, 1, 0, 0. Discovery, go and throttle up. As primary control of critical vehicle
Y'all see it. Y'all see it. All right, so I'm gonna be right back.